Now, friends, we will go on to see now the use of all these power devices, thyristor family, for the another type of motor, that is stepper motor. So before going to that again, the controlling technique, you should be familiar with what is stepper motor or how it differs from the conventional DC motor or whatever we seen that previously, that is separately excited DC motor. Okay, so the previous DC motors, once it is powered and the power supply is continuously kept across the armature or that field winding, etc., it remains continuous in motion, right? While the stepper motor, it is somewhat different than that of the conventional DC motors. So here it is, we can say the stepper motor, it is a pulse driven motor that changes the angular position of the rotor in steps. It do not remains in continuous motion just like a regular or conventional DC motors. Uh, so the angular position of that rotor in steps, it occurs whenever we are powering that coils with somewhat pulses. Okay, and the angle of rotation of that rotor, it is determined by the number of pulses how much we apply to it, and by what speed that the rotor is rotating, it is determined by the frequency of pulses which we are applying to that motor. So basically there are three types of stepper motors, like permanent magnet, variable reluctance, and hybrid stepper motor. So few important terms you have to remember over here that is applicable to all these three types of stepper motors. First one, that is beta. It is the step angle per input pulse, by how much step angle that rotor it rotates. Then the resolution, that is number of steps per revolution. And next one, that is theta, that is the total angle travel by the rotor, which can be calculated as beta into number of steps. And last one, that is n, which is equals to the shaft speed, at what speed that shaft is moving. Again, that is dependent on beta and fp, where that fp is nothing but number of pulses per second. So here we can write the shaft speed, that is n equals to beta into fp by 360 degree. Now see the simple construction of that stepper motor. You will observe here total 6 teeth are there to its yoke, inside that yoke of that stepper motor, on which there is a field winding to each teeth, right? And inside that yoke there is a rotor having 4 teeth. You will observe here, this particularly shown for this motor, there are total 6 teeth to the yoke, that is for the field, and 4 teeth to the rotor, right? Now remember the reluctance of magnetic circuit formed by the rotor and stator teeth. These teeth to the rotor and stator, it varies with the angular position of that rotor. Whenever this rotor will get shifted by a particular angle, that reluctance it gets varies. Okay. Now one by one, uh, or simply here, that operating circuitry is shown. A simple equivalent circuitry is shown over here. See, to these teeth to the field, it is titled as A and A dash, front to front. Similarly, B and B dash, C and C dash. So total 3 phases are there, we can say. Okay. And whenever we will go on to power each phase by somewhat external DC pulse, there will be a rotation of this rotor by a particular angle. So here that angle is shown by 30 degree. Now see, as per this equivalent, if all switches are open, then the teeth of that rotor, it gets aligned with the teeth which is related to phase A dash of the stator as shown. See, first condition I written over here, all switches are open, that is theta equals to 0 degree, S1 to S3 all are open. Means this rotor, it will remain aligned as shown. There will be a 0 degree rotation by that rotor. Now the second condition is if we close this switch S1, which is in series with the common coil across these teeth A and A dash, so it will go on to energize coil A and A dash, and there will be a shifting of this rotor by 30 degree as shown. See this one, it gets shifted by 30 degree. Now in next condition, keep this S1 as open and close S2. Next condition, that is S2 is closed, S1 and S3 are open. Again the rotation of next 30 degree will going on to occur, which is shown in the third diagram. The teeth 1 and 3, it will remain now aligned with the phase C and C dash as shown by closing switch S2. And similarly again, if S2 is open and S3 is closed, again there will be a rotation of this rotor by extra 30 degrees, so that it will get shifted totally from 0 to 90 degree, right now in during the first sequence of S1, S2 and S3, as they are get closed sequentially. Similarly, if we want again next 90 degree rotation, then by the same sequence just close the switches S1, S2 and S3. This rotor, it will get shifted over here again for next 90 degree, again over here with the same sequence like this. Okay, that's why here in previous slide one point was mentioned, that is the rotation speed. It is determined by the frequency of pulses. At what rate we are applying that pulses, it will go on to decide the speed of that rotor. Okay, now let ns, that is the number of teeth of the stator, that is nothing but stationary, or we can call it as a field winding also, which is inside the yoke or the body of that motor. Then nr, the number of teeth on the rotor, that means totally 4 teeth are shown in this particular type of motor, that is 4. And beta, it is the step angle, it is in degrees, so that step angle, it will get decided by the number of teeth on the stator as well as on rotor by this equation, that is ns minus nr divided by ns into nr into 360 degree. Okay, so see here that pulses are shown for phase A at 0 degree to onward. The pulse is applied, the rotor will get shifted by 30 degree. Later on phase B, it is energized by the next pulse as shown. Similarly phase C will go on to energize the coil, that is C and C dash, and hence here total the rotation will be of 90 degree. Now see the frequency of these pulses we can calculate by calculating capital T, that is its on period and off period. So whenever we will going to change the frequency of these pulses, that is related to phase A, B and C, the speed will get decided. Okay, now to generate such type of pulses or to drive that motor, a simple MOSFET based circuitry is shown. See here the coil, that is A and A dash, it is connected in series with these two MOSFETs. Similarly phase B or the coils connected in series with another pair of MOSFETs as shown. Similarly for phase C also. So whenever we will going on to close both MOSFETs, then and then that coil will get energized. Otherwise we have to keep it open. So simple circuitry. So according to that pulse is generated and applied to the gate terminals of that particular electronic switches, that is MOSFET shown over here, we can say that particular switch will get closed and there will be a rotation. Now the most important point here, it is to keep the sequence of that switches properly. Otherwise that motor will get rotated in forward as well as in reverse direction also. That means if we change the sequence, that sequence it should be like this only. Initially S1 should get on, then S2 and then S3. Accordingly we have to generate that pulses by somewhat pulse generator and have to be applied to that particular switches, that is MOSFETs. Thank you.